Okay, I'm going to press play. You good?
Yeah.
Greetings, pals.
Greetings, pals.
Greetings, pals.
Hey, pals. How are you all? Welcome to the podcast Throwing the Pal. My name is Frank.
My name is Marcus.
My name's Tom.
And today, Throwing the Pals, the podcast where we talk about movies, love it or hate it, we debate it, and we're doing Pretty Woman.
We're doing a Pretty Woman.
We're doing Pretty Woman.
Is that what you said?
Hey.
Hoo-ah.
How
yeah.
you going, Pretty Woman?
We're reviewing
walking-
Pretty Woman.
Reviewing Pretty Woman.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to sense we're the wrong people to be reviewing this movie. Maybe we're a little out of our depth.
What do you mean? We're all...
Just the whole movie starts being like, oh, what a pretty woman. Ooh,
What a pretty
paisan.
woman.
Mwah.
I told you guys today that I listened to a podcast that literally was, I don't know how old they were,
Guys,
but there were
just-
two men, and they were like, man, Julia Roberts is ooh in the dress, and it was straight up disgusting.
That's
And,
gross. So
That takes the pressure off me.
I was gonna
just have
say,
be
do we have to
slightly
mute Tom?
slightly less creepy than that, and I'll come out fine.
they
because-
also broke new ground in terms of trivia, but we'll get to that later.
wow.
Okay, so Pretty Woman, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, came out a while ago in the 1990s. In fact, 1990 was the exact year.
the
1990.
first one. The first that gave them their name.
of all the
The first of the 90s.
The father of the 90s.
yes.
Father of the Bride, starring... Wait, that's confusing.
Runaway Bride, you mean?
No, I don't.
Let's not talk about that one. Continue.
Starring Richard Gere and, of course, Julia Roberts.
I think despite the fact that the movie puts that's the billing order, I think that's a little, like, insulting of you to put Richard Gere first. Like, obviously we should put Julia Roberts
What
first.
do you mean, Thomas? Whatever
don't
do
think
you
Richard
mean?
Gere really popped in this? That's kind of the breakout.
That's why I said, and most importantly, Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
you
of
did.
course.
It's like when
I'm
you
sorry,
do
Robert.
like cast, and
most
done,
importantly,
Robert.
Jason
You've
Alexander.
done a better job than the producers ever did, Frank. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so and on this podcast, we actually rate films out of 11, which is
We do.
which is why we're so unique and fun and cool and fresh.
one of a
and
kind.
Thomas always sets this metric as to why, and I can't wait to hear what his 11 is today.
Oh,
Right, you guys wanted me to come up with an 11.
yep.
Yeah,
Big mistake. Big.
Yep.
Huge.
Great.
I have to go shopping. What else was I meant to do for this?
Oh,
okay,
come
great.
on. There's
That's all I
plenty of
got.
opportunity. All right. Do you know what? Let's skip it.
That's it. That's my
Let's just skip
my
it.
11.
it is a big mix. I can't even say
a
it.
big mistake.
Okay, so let's just give us some numbers. Who loved it? Who had it? Shout your name if you like this film.
Tom. This is going to be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, good.
I'm-
A while since we've had one of these. I think it's been a while since those cats came out and bayed at the moon and we all came to their call.
Yeah, there's something in
If you're-
my memory. Is
That's
really
making
getting-
me. That's making me nervous if you're comparing this to Cats because you gave that a ridiculous
17,
score.
I think.
Yeah,
out
something
of
17 out of 11.
stupid.
I think I've run out of numbers to give other movies.
Tom had a
you,
stroke.
should go, you guys should go first. I'll go last.
Oh, we'll go
Alright.
first.
Yeah, go on, Tom. I mean, go on, Marcus. What's your name?
All right, you ready?
Set.
Go. 3.3.
Ooh,
That's really low.
that's
Mm-hmm.
quite
That's
low.
really low for
That's
like
quite
all-time
low.
classic film.
3.3.
Okay, well, I'm on the fence, and I'm happy to be swayed either way. I'm a 5.5.
Frank the Fence.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and we'll get into it later. But we'll get into it later. Thomas, it's a
9.4.
Jeez,
Oh.
This
whoa!
movie's beautiful. You guys are wrong.
Beautiful.
and
All
it's
right.
okay. You're allowed to be wrong. It's a free country for now, I guess.
All right.
So like,
For now,
but
I-
Pretty
pretty
Woman
good.
is a beautiful film. I love this.
Beg of you. I beg of both of you, in fact, to really listen to the arguments put forward in this conversation.
okay.
Have a
Well,
think about it and process.
Okay.
sounds pretty hard.
Maybe
Sounds pretty hard to-
reevaluate. Maybe just a new score at the end.
Well, that's the whole point of the podcast, Marcus. And I'm glad you said that. People need to know. We should
Marcus,
be
I remember
open-minded.
you texting me earlier and you said you've been playing a lot of GTA lately and you didn't understand why he didn't just kill the prostitute at the end. So, like, I don't know if that's the argument you're bringing into this today. That's not what I'm... And I don't even feel good about saying the word prostitute. You said that in text.
It's the
I would
best
say
way to get a
sex-
refund, I
I-
guess.
I would say sex worker because I'm an
Yes.
ally.
Now,
You know,
yeah, I
obviously.
think
Yeah,
we
I've
should
seen Honora. Yeah, it's
we
very
should
good.
preface this as well in saying that this whatever's said in this podcast probably will be delicate because
Well,
the sex
again-
work industry is one that obviously is sustainable for some people. Some people have no other choice.
I couldn't keep it up. Double entendre.
That's wait. It's as many questions no one asked.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Well, if it makes you feel any better, the podcast I listened to today, which I think is quite successful. They're
Do you
like,
want to shout them out? What are they called?
I do not want to say their names.
Okay. Hamish and Andy.
They were like, she's a hooker, she's a whore. And I was like, wow.
Ahua.
Wow.
And
she's a
it's-
hooer, Tony.
The language that the movie uses, and like every time it's the movie going, can you believe this fucking guy? Like every time someone says that,
Yeah.
like the movie judges that language.
Yeah,
most
and that was in
harshly.
the
It's-
90s.
It's an hour before someone says the word hooker in the movie. If you notice, the only time it's directly, what do you girls make these days? And kind of these vague references. And then she has that great line where he says, I want you to be at my beck and call. And she says, well, as much as I'd love to be your beck and call girl. And it's like, that is as close as someone gets to saying it. But then, hooker.
Who's the first person to say it? Is it Jason Alexander?
It's Richard Gere when he tells Jason Alexander she's
okay.
a hooker. And then Jason Alexander's like, she's a whore!
Yeah,
She's
I was going to say
dirty
Jason
whore!"
had to be in the scene somewhere.
Jason
for that weird
Alexander
drop.
is like, she's a corporate spy, watch out.
Jason
He's
Alexander
just so
is
paranoid.
so filthy in this movie. Every scene is him calling Richard Gere and being like, can you make more money so I can fuck it, please? Like, I just want to have sex with money.
Tom, I want to go back. I want to go back to what you said about beck and call girl.
Great line.
The thing that there's a couple of things that make this film fantastic, but then it falls flat at the end for me. But Julia Roberts, Richard Gere, of course, they have amazing chemistry. That's like goes without saying. They're lovely
I
together.
beg to differ.
But the script, we are.
Yep.
Let
Continue.
me finish. The script is awesome. Like the snappiness of the dialogue, I love the back and forth, the repartee, the witty lines. Every character kind of has a pretty good arc, even the smaller ones. Whether it's Jason Alexander coming from just a snoozy lawyer to sexual abuser, and quite violent and all those
Deviant.
things.
I had pretty high
Deviant.
hopes for him in this movie to start with. I was
Yeah.
like, I think that guy's
They
going
paint him in a good light.
That guy's going places.
George Costanza always makes good choices as well. So it's
I
like,
love that they brought a troll out from under a bridge and were like, let's put this. I'm sorry. Jason Alexander, who I think's a very interesting actor and does some very interesting things, like in this film is despicable.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
just so upsetting.
I
you
would
know
argue.
what?
I mean, he does despicable well.
Yes, he's great at it, and I think it serves a function up to a point. But
yeah,
we'll get
he's
to
like
that.
he was the original Despicable Me.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
What do we think of? Well, Marcus, you don't like Richard Gere and Julia Roberts together?
No, Richard First Gear.
Oh,
That's not bad.
Who
That's
ne-
not
who's
bad. Actually,
grinding his gears.
Yeah.
Oh.
does he ever get to second? He doesn't know how. It's
doesn't
an
know
H
how to-
shape.
yeah,
it's an
and
H
it's-
shape.
It actually, you're right, because
Truly.
that literally happens in the movie.
Literally.
Holy shit.
And when
that
a-
is
when
that
a-
is layered, Marcus. That is literary.
Richard
Thank you.
can't
Well
change
done.
gears. There's so many there.
Thank you for my clever joke, and
Damn.
I do
Wow.
feel validated.
And I had never even thought of that.
You know what? Fuck it. This movie's a 2.
Truly, I've got nothing against Richard Gere, although I can't.
Seems like you
rightly-
do. Let me
I
just
can't
say.
name too many films where I'm like, fuck yeah, Richard Gere. However, I just think he's snoozing. He's truly one note almost the entire film. Also, just not a good person, like at all. He sugarcoats it with some charm. He is charming at times.
But do you think? All right.
Or I just
Sorry,
think
sorry,
that there's so much chatter about Pretty Woman and its legacy of being like when people talk about Pretty Woman, they always go, "Oh, but the chemistry between those two." I disagree. I think that Julia Roberts is working hard and not getting a lot back, and I think that she's doing all the legwork and he's just a bounce. Do you know what I mean?
It's the what's the rule in Hitch? Like, isn't it 80-20 or 90-10? Like when you want to go, like
Yeah.
she's
You're
coming
referencing Hitch?
Yeah, like a movie
Kevin
that
James'
I would
best work.
watch any day over Fool's Gold.
Yeah,
but
another
like,
11,
She's
obviously.
like 80-20. Like, Julia is doing more of the work.
Yeah.
She has to because of the character.
She
I
has
think
to.
Richard Gere kind of is a shitty guy in this, but I don't think the movie lets him get away with that for the most part. I don't think the movie's
Does
like
it not?
Well,
yeah, I
We
think
go
the movie-
from, and I don't want to jump ahead here, but we go
Yeah.
from your fierce, strong, independent, worker of the streets, doesn't have a pimp, handles her own shit, works at her own prices, right? Then she goes to being bought for way too cheap, and I've done the math. We'll get to that. I mathed hard on this one. Doesn't check out.
I paid way more.
Doesn't check out.
I feel like GTA needs to be put to the side for a little while.
And then by the end of the film, she's bought, she's dressed, she's taught, she's trained, she's everything he wanted her to be. And all through the film, he says things like, sit down, come here, stop talking, you fidget too much, you're not attractive when you fidget too much. Every line of dialogue that comes out of his mouth is like, I'm sorry, motherfucker, did you just say that? And she doesn't bite back. She generally, and if she does, it's a quick whip, and then he gets away with it.
I would think, yeah, sorry, you go
Well, I would
first.
say he does get away with it in terms of that behavior, but his character arc doesn't let him get away with it. Like, he does change at the end, right? He realizes he was in the wrong. He realizes that his corporate goals and all this making money and stuff doesn't matter, and actually he's going to just have a life with her.
Yeah,
I think
she's still ultimately though. She's still bought. She's still property.
But that's
she's
what
still
the whole
employee.
film's about, right? It's
He's
about the
been
power struggle
sleeping
between
with his employee. I love that
The
he
movie-
calls her that and then fucks her. Like,
The
it's
movie
weird.
is like, there is no way around it. It is a movie from 1990 about a man who purchases a human being for a week. Problematic doesn't begin to cover it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a premise that I think is without its pitfalls. What I find very successful about it is, as far as commercial movie making goes, I think it's a fucking smashing success. Like, I think it's so wildly
I
entertaining.
mean, I can't argue that. Yeah,
That as much as the thematic weight is there, and I do not dispute at all, that if someone today in 2025 watches that movie and goes, I had some issues with the politics of that movie, I don't go, oh, really? What are they? Like, no, of course there's some weird shit in there. And of the way that the characters treat Julia Roberts. But I do think that I cannot get past something Frank was saying earlier is how much he loved the script. And I think the script is solid. And I think there's a huge thing about the script that we can get into later. But I think this script is nothing. This movie is nothing without Julia Roberts. This might be like a 4 or 5 out of 11
I
without
agree.
Julia Roberts. I think she is the defining, like, central element of this film. And I just think the humanity, the specificity, the complexity, the humor, the sort of rawness, but at the same time, the very movie star version of it that she brings is incredibly arresting.
she's
I'm
a very
so taken
strong
by her in
actress.
this.
I truly do like her.
You almost
would-
forget that she's an Oscar winner, and like she won for Erin Brockovich a couple of years after this, 10 years
Which
after
is
this.
almost like a kind of like a performance that's cast a few degrees to the left of this, where it's like she's going to play someone who has a similar sense of fashion maybe, and she's going to sit like with a bit of a brash personality, but she's a lot more assertive. She understands this world in a way that's not quite where she has to be at, you know, Richard Gere, the hierarchy established between them. She's the strongest and most powerful person in every room she's in Erin Brockovich. She's the most captivating person in every room in Pretty Woman. It would not be an exaggeration to say this is one of my favorite performances of all time.
I
love
find,
this
though-
performance to death. I love it so much.
Really?
I don't love it all the way through. I think it's problematic at times. I think that when she's going for cutesy, sometimes it comes across as almost childlike. The only comparison I have, and I kept thinking of it, was Mia Jovovich in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, but
Where
do
she
you
has
like
that-
that performance?
No, I do, but I think in that it services it well in The Fifth Element, whereas here she does this, like when she's sitting on the floor watching I Love Lucy and she's got kicking her feet up in the air, eating food, or when she's eating pancakes at the dinner table,
Just with
you know,
her
the
hands
the morning after.
Or doesn't know how to use the fancy cutlery and,
and
flicks the oyster thing or whatever it is away. Like,
yeah, and it feels like the choice is trying to be a bit more like I'm a bit more street, a bit more uneducated, but it comes across as I'm a bit more of a human toddler.
See, I read that as she's not meant for that world, and I would assume she's not been doing it long. That's how sort of I read it. She was like, yeah, I'm probably not very good at it. Like,
That's how it seems like, even the way she talks with Kit, you know, one, she never really seemed like she fit in the streets anyway. She hasn't been there for a long time. It's been a weird adjustment. But we learn like she came from probably a country town where she knows things about cars when she wouldn't necessarily have to, right?
they don't have cars in the city. They got cars at country towns.
They've only got cars in country towns. Thank you, Frank. I was just checking for someone to have some historical reference there. No,
Well,
she knows about shit
But
that
only
Richard
race
Gere
cars,
doesn't.
maybe,
Yes,
Frank.
yes.
You might be onto something there.
Yes,
But
she
she does.
knows how-
Yes.
She talks about race cars.
She does.
Taxi
She
cab.
knows how to, and even the way she gives that line, it's part of what I love about her performance. She's like, I grew up around a lot of guys who drove a lot of fast cars. I learned how to pay attention. Like, she doesn't say it as a big, like the way she throws some lines away in this and the way other lines really pop and she lets them sit, I find remarkable, but I'm getting into her performance again.
And then it's
I
like
think
90% of Richard Gere just giving sultry looks and staring at her from somewhere, and it's just
and
odd.
being a smug fuck. Like, he is
Yeah.
smug in this.
But
And
that's
do
his
think
whole
the-
career. Like,
I have, yeah. Sorry.
well, that's it.
his
Like,
whole career.
It's his whole, but it is like that's if you want someone who's going to play smug, rich, just confident to the nth degree, and will run a room when he comes in. That's Richard Gere.
Totally not a bead of sweat. And he's doing all this with a gerbil up his ass, guys. Like, you got to remember, every scene in this, there is not a moment where he is not housing a guinea pig in his rectum.
He actually made all the cast and crew do the same thing.
He did. And Julia, you can see when she's singing Kiss by Prince in the bathtub, like, that gerbil's giving her, like, some problems in that scene.
on,
But, like,
Thomas.
A couple
Like-
nested inside Jason Alexander. He wasn't aware.
he was just, they were fighting inside him the whole time.
Wow.
Sorry, the gerbil thing's funny. It's so funny to think that a lot of people hear that and be like, what on earth is he talking about?
Well,
But-
they're either going to Google it or you can give context now, but maybe we leave it.
Well,
Okay,
there
well,
is
I'll
no
go-
context. It's just an internet rumor. I would say
Yeah, it's
Google
like
it.
one of the original, like, someone said it as a, I bet you can make up a rumor about anything and it would stick,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it did.
It's the Marilyn Manson removing the ribs thing.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Do you want
That's
to
the
talk
classic
quickly,
one.
Thomas? You said about commercial success and obviously cultural staying power. This had a
Yeah.
budget of 14 million, has made roughly 180 million worldwide now.
Sure. I mean,
Like,
That's just my
10
DVD
it's
rentals,
10
I guess.
But you don't even like it.
are you,
I know.
are you-
I'm
It made
I'm a sucker for
46.
punishment.
Is that domestic?
Yeah,
180?
domestic.
I think it's
Yeah.
close to
I
like
said 463.
463 is the
Look at me. I'm
international,
just
and that's
reading.
like
I'm just reading here. It's very tricky for me.
here's the thing to know as well that at that time, that's
In the 90.
That's the 90. That's Daddy 90. That is the 5th highest grossing film of all time.
Yeah,
that's
you got Jaws,
Jaws, Star Wars, E.T.,
Star Jaws.
Star Jaws,
E-Jaws,
E-Jaws, yes.
Pretty Jaws.
Pretty,
Which actually could be a good name for Julia Roberts because she has enormous teeth.
She does have
and
a
mouth.
very big mouth. But like truly, 4 movies had ever like grossed that much. And
Yeah,
then
wow.
Pretty Woman, it ruled the world. And it was an R-rated film. Like it was a movie about a sex worker that was a snappy sort of classic spin on a Hollywood story. Obviously, it's doing like Audrey Hepburn, which is why we get that scene with her and Cary Grant in Charade in the movie at some point. But like, it's doing
Yeah.
Pygmalion, it's doing My Fair Lady, it's doing a
It
twist
is.
on something we've
Yeah.
seen before.
Yeah.
But it was doing it in a way that was still. This movie opens and a sex worker is dead in an alley, and Hank Azaria doesn't know what the fuck to do about it. Like he's very perturbed.
You know it's a 90s film when Hank turns up as
It's
well.
his
This is his first movie.
That's why he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, action.
Yeah, you got
God.
like tourists who are just standing in the middle of a crime scene just taking photos. Like they're just
It's-
in there. And the
it's
cop's
actually
like,
a great-
excuse me,
That's
trying to
the
get him out.
Sunset Strip, baby. Now, where are they?
I think it's a great movie.
LA's
They're
wild.
on, they're on Beverly Hills. They're on.
Oh, the line where he's like
They're on
Beverly
the
Hills.
boulevard, right?
Beverly Hills
Yeah.
is downhills.
Yeah.
Downhill. That's great. I just want to talk about the guy who bookends the film, and I don't want to do this impression, so I'm not going to.
No, do
but
it.
he's like the
No, you
guy
have
who
to do it.
I'm not doing it.
Everybody has a dream, baby.
Everybody has a dream. What's
Welcome
your
to Hollywood.
dream?
What's your
Welcome to
dream?
Hollywood.
Gives me chills every time.
Hate it.
I love it.
Hate
I
it so
love
much.
it so much.
Hate it so much. Think
We
it
are
ruins, think
different
it ruins
people.
The film.
Sorry.
It ruins the film in a way that I want to say it. I like the audio, the audible quality of it. I guess the tangible, that whatever. But out of context, it's a different thing. It's a nice little soundbite. But it's like, why is that in this film? That feels like the start of a Disney movie. But
This
like,
is a
It is a Disney movie.
It literally is a Disney movie.
Sorry. Okay. So sue me. It feels like the start of
It
an
made
animated-
$18 worldwide, and it was produced by Walt Disney while he was alive. We all know this. These are the facts.
These are the
It's
facts.
almost like a Disney movie, you know?
You know what I mean.
No,
Don't-
I know, but that was
don't-
funny.
I think that's the
was-
point. It is it's him being like, this is a fantasy. Try not to take this too seriously. This
But I
is
did. I
about
took
a
it very
dream. This is
seriously.
wish fulfillment. Well, then you should have loved it.
Yeah, and you're
because
the king of
movie-
wishful thinking. Great soundtrack. Look at that
Do
segment.
you know,
The
here's-
soundtrack.
the other thing too is I don't even think it's all shot that well. Like I don't like the look of
Yeah.
it necessarily. And I know that we're looking at this of a lens of the time. This is 1990, But then you get a couple of outstanding shots in the film that I'm very impressed with. But then you get these dog shit aerial shots of LA where they're like, let's do like a blurry little overhead of some tankers for a second and really paint the picture for LA. It's like the city of dreams. Let's all be here.
Look at the pollution.
Yeah.
Gary Marshall was a lot of things. A visualist, I wouldn't put on that list. Like he was he was a popcorn cinema guy in not in the sense of like action films, but very pleasing, very comfy movies. This is the guy who made like the New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day and Mother's Day movies. Like later in his life, he made the
Princess Diaries.
He also made the Princess Diaries, which also has Larry Miller and
keep naming
Hector
more movies
Elizondo.
I definitely love.
You not liking the Princess Diaries is like an indictment.
That's actually
movie.
crazy.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
You're talking about Hector Elizondo?
Hector Elizondo, but also Larry
phenomenal.
Miller, like who's the
he's
Larry
also
Miller.
phenomenal.
Stop
He's
saying
the
Larry
shot.
Miller.
Say again.
I said stop saying Larry Miller.
Larry Miller.
Yeah, who's the dad in 10 Things I Hate About You?
But he also helps with the glow up in Princess Diaries. He's like the guy who comes in and does the makeover.
Friends with Gary Marshall.
Very sassy.
He's friends with Gary Marshall. Do you know? You guys both seen BoJack, haven't you?
Sure. Where are we going with this?
Horseman? No, sorry, BoJack Rudderbaker. Like, yeah, BoJack Horseman. Man. Like,
gotta clarify, man. Hey,
just want to clarify.
Just gotta clarify.
Gary Marshall is the voice of the catfish director in BoJack. Remember when they're making Secretariat?
Yes.
And there's the catfish is like, well, it's not Upson. Oh, don't know what that was, but anyway, that's not
something from Big Mouth, I think.
He has like a lisp, but he's very excitable.
Well, he's a catfish.
Make this movie. Yeah. Well, no, that's just how Gary Marshall talks. He just sounds like that. But
really?
He is an actor. He's also the brother of Penny Marshall, who made A League of Their Own and Big. Nice. So like they come from, and he did Happy Days. Like he's got a whole story thing. Anyway, I think he did a lot with this script, Frank, and a lot of that humor, a lot of that pop, a lot of those like lines, especially Julia in the early run of it.
Did you know a lot of it was improvised? In fact, the scene with the necklace.
Oh God, here we go.
No. I heard about this. They actually did 20 takes. David Fincher was on the set that day. He hadn't made a movie yet, but he insisted they do that 20 times.
I honestly hoped we would get through this whole episode without someone mentioning that improvised scene. Scene.
Her laughing is like the fucking clouds part. Like it is miraculous hearing her laugh like that.
Julia Roberts is so endearing, and she has that presence where no matter what's really happening, you do fall in love with her. And I can see why your Richard Gere type would fall in love with her, or any protagonist really.
100%.
I get it. And
she's
acting deployed so well,
but also the script, and then also the charisma.
And she kills it. Absolutely
Frank,
kills
you just described movies.
Yeah, because Marcus, like, you'd see why he'd fall in love with her. It's like, that's
yeah,
the
but
script,
he's talking about like there's an emotional integrity to the story because you get why he'd be. You're not watching it and going, oh, this girl, right? Like
she and she pulls off that red dress like no one else could as well.
She keeps it on.
Now, one of my favorite scenes in the film, if I'm going to throw this in here quickly,
Go on.
is and it almost feels like a scene in the wrong movie to me. And this coming from a guy who didn't necessarily love the film.
I know what you're about to say. It's when Jason Alexander attacks her. Yes, I agree. That's I know you love that. Talk more about that.
Sure. It's it's actually the scene in the ballroom when everyone leaves on their smoke break, and it's that really intimate, very quiet scene between Richard and her in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is shot.
Did you know Richard Gere is really playing the piano there?
Not only that,
wait, is he actually though?
Not only that, he just sat down and played that. Like Gary Marshall was like, we need a scene where you go do something in the hotel, and he's like, I can play piano, and he just came up with that on the spot.
It's
and he's incredibly talented.
Ends up being, I think, the best scene in it. It looks nice. It's a good use of silence. It's very
so
intimate
quiet.
film.
It's a nice breath. Yeah. It's a really nice breath.
I think you're right that as much as I think that scene always stands out to me, and I like a lot of the different scenes in this film, that is one of those scenes where you're like, whoa, this is like. Imagine sitting in a movie theater in the 90s to watch this movie. You know it's R-rated, but you know it's going to be a comedy. Yeah, everyone would just be like, what is about to happen right now? Like, is he going to fuck her on the piano? And they kind of starts doing that.
And
it's
you feel, as an audience member, you feel dirty in a way that's like, kind of good. And
Kind of
as
wholesome.
weird as that sounds, yeah,
No,
yeah.
the movie does that a lot. It does it
Like
with,
you're kind of like, shit, I shouldn't be in here right now.
when she takes that lovely negligee off near the end of the movie, and the camera is basically behind this grate, and you just see enough of them as she's kind of like hooking up with Richard Gere near the end of the movie.
You say enough of them?
You just see enough, just a hint. But it is that thing where Marcus is saying where we feel a little like we're intruding, and it's kind of weird for Marshall to take that tack.
Well,
and
I think
kind of
it's
be like,
the way they play all the love scenes and all the intimacy is really sort of coy. And in a film that's about a sex worker and a billionaire falling in love, it's very like tame. I guess it is a Disney movie after all, but it's like it's respectful in a way.
Still very, but it's so charged. The first time she crawls up to him and slowly takes off her kit, and she's got her hands on his leg.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time watching it being like, holy shit.
The same scene where I Love Lucy's blaring in the background, and she
keeps looking at it.
She puts her arm up his trouser leg, which is just not a good way to navigate.
That's
She's
very
got long-
intimate.
she's got
She's
long
not trying to
arms.
get to the dick. She
I
gets
don't know.
that she'll have to choose a
It's
different
weird-
entry point.
It's a
here's
bit
the thing.
weird.
Here's the thing. I just don't find the sexual chemistry between them believable at all. I don't think Julia Roberts has that element to her. I think she's a classic movie star. She's of course beautiful. I don't read that energy from her.
I agree with you in almost every. I was talking with a friend of mine today about this. How when I knew who Julia Roberts was by the time I was like 8, that was when she was going into like she just on Notting Hill, but then it was kind of like Mona Lisa Smile and like the Ocean's movies, and I was like, I thought of her as a woman who was graceful and elegant, right? She was beautiful,
Stepmom?
but not sexual. What was that? Sorry,
Stepmom. Have you seen her in Stepmom?
no.
It'll break your heart. Don't watch it.
Okay, it sounds kind of anonymous. I've never even heard of it.
It's her and Susan Sarandon.
Really?
And then
I've never heard of this movie.
One of them died. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay. Julia Roberts is her stepmom. It's a real twisty movie.
A lot of prosthetics.
But I'd agree with you, Frank, that I don't think of Julia Roberts as sexy. I do in this movie. I think it's the only time I've seen a Julia Roberts movie where I'm like, my God, she's both beautiful and very charming and a little bit like kiddish and has that innocence and whatnot to her and that ingenue energy. But I think she's so fucking sexy in this movie.
Do you think Richard
Really
Gere
sexy.
matches that? Do you think
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I think he has the exact right, like sort of, he's always a little he's always looking at her like he's caught her underneath a glass, like she's a bug that he's observing.
So
and I'm not saying that as a
curious.
compliment where it's like that's a good thing. I think his attitude needs to develop as the movie goes on, but he's always a little fascinated by her and always sort of, but there's that magnetism that she has that's just so. The movie is about the fact that you're watching. Sorry, it is about the fact that you're.
Sorry, keep going.
You're
Every
watching Julia Roberts become a movie star in real time. Like, because the
100%.
blonde wig
100%.
is such a fucking
Yeah.
great choice.
Yeah.
Because we see her with that. When you first see the close-ups of her getting ready, some of which is a body double, but you see her eye and whatnot. She's good, but like in the early couple of scenes, it's just like, oh yeah, this girl, like she knows what she's doing and she's trying to make her money and whatever. But then she says to Richard Gere when he's like, you can't charge me for directions, and she says, I can do whatever I want, honey. I'm the one who's lost. And you see his face just be like, I wasn't expecting her to say that. And every interaction they have past that, she keeps getting more and more endearing and more like just compelling. And then in the fucking morning when she comes out with the curly red hair, you're just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to explode. This woman is so captivating. I think it's an
What
incredible
are you going to do,
performance.
Thomas?
What
That's
are
hard.
I don't know what any of us are going to do.
Do you know what I think is really great is
Jesus.
they're both just negotiators and business people. Like the way they go the back and forth about money. Like, all right, I want you to spend
I'm glad you brought that up, Frank.
Hold on, I don't need your math. Let's not do the math yet. But he's
Marcus,
Sorry.
her rate is off.
like, when he's like, how much for the night? And she's like, 300. He's like, done. Here's your money, whatever. And she's like, whoa, that's crazy. But then the scene the next day, I believe, when they're talking about,
when
all
she's in the bathtub.
stay for the week. How much is that going to cost you? And she's like, well, no. I'd say $4,000. He's like, $2,000. Then she's like, 3. And he's like, done. And it's like so quick, so easy. And she's like, wow, oh my God, holy
She's
shit, goes
so
under the bubbles.
excited.
And then, of course, the lovely
She can buy so many Legos with that. So many Legos.
He didn't play with Lego in the movie. What kind of reference is that?
This is Marcus is reading deeper
She's
into the
just
character.
Yeah,
she's
she's a
childish for a lot of it.
She's obviously. I mean, she's 22, like Julia Roberts there, which is not to say like she's basically a kid, but like I agree with you that there is that quality to her.
Especially
that is
because Richard Gere looks 60.
But it's Richard Gere's
I
an older looking man, and he's only 40, but he's like
I get
John
that real-
Slattery from Mad Men. He's
Yeah,
always
ickiness.
looks like 60. Yeah.
It's a real ickiness from Gere at times, you know. Like I think maybe my criticism comes more from Gere's casting, whereas I think it could have been done better with a maybe just slightly younger actor to match Julia and just have that energy. To me, he's just a bit of a seedy old corporate man, which I know he kind of is.
needs to
But I don't see the growth that I think you both see by the end of the film. I just don't feel it, and I've just felt a bit gross all the way through. I don't like this.
I would say,
this
yeah, I agree with you,
use
Marcus.
of power.
I agree a lot about that, but I think if this were a different film directed by the Safdie brothers or someone who's going to go for a real gritty tone.
Oh, I think that's what it needs.
Well, but this is the 90s, so things aren't going to be like that, so it's different. But they definitely soft play everything. Like
It's a film to me that I think could use a really good remake. I don't use that loosely because
you hate remakes.
Yeah, and I kind of said what I said. So.
Do you have any alternative cast members in mind? Just
I
off the
do.
top
We'll play a little game later. How about that?
Okay. that
Later?
sounds like fun.
Okay, we'll do it later.
Little
Yeah,
one.
we can do it
Well,
right
right
now.
now, well, should we dive into the pantry?
No, whoa, let's dive into the math and then the pantry.
Okay, sorry, yes. The
You
math.
Let's do the math. Let's
Yeah.
do some quick math. You ready? Well, she's $100 an hour, right?
Yeah.
Marcus is pulling out real money right now.
This is her rate according to the film. I'm just going with what she told me, man.
Yeah, man.
He negotiates stay the night, right?
Uh-huh.
That turns into all right, $300. You see where I'm going with this already?
Yeah, but it's like buying bulk.
Oh, buy in bulk. Okay, so yep. So she's given him 3 hours, which in fact is not 3 hours; it's a whole night.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna put my notes here. So then we've got $3,000 for 6 days' work. Correct. Now, even if that were within the constraints of let's say an 8-hour working day at $100 an hour times 8 hours times 6 days, you're looking at $4,800. So she's already cut herself short $1,800, right? Now, assuming
Wait,
that she's
where-
going to be there 24 hours a day, which she is, as his little sex slave, she should have at least been paid for 6 days' work,
A little bit of umbrage.
$14,400 for a 6-day period. She should have at least been paid $15K for staying a week, right? She's exploited. I hate this film. That was my TED talk.
Look, one cannot fault the math. If you
All the
base it,
movies to come in and be like, I've done some calculations.
like Interstellar,
Because
the science
I was
absolutely
so
checks out.
disengaged at one point that I started doing math, and I hate math.
Yeah, that
I
took you
do
a long
too
time.
now. Now I despise it. You didn't say
I-
69 once. It was right
Oh, waste
Didn't
of
even
opportunity.
say 6, 7.
there. Oh my God.
Okay, sorry, Thomas.
Frank has a young child.
He's 2. He doesn't know what that is.
Three dusty millennials here. Don't start.
Yeah, we're getting
Marcus,
dusty.
I mean, yes, your math is correct, but that's not
Thank
how,
you.
That's not how business works.
I refuse.
Oh, sorry.
And
Like-
all
Oh,
this
Pimp Daddy Frank
podcast,
here.
and it will never work that way ever again. Let's never do that.
All
Come
right.
in with math. Oh my God.
I mean,
Something
if you were her agent or her, what's the other word for when it's a sex worker and they have someone that helps?
Pimp. Are you
Yes.
being facetious? Oh,
Correct.
Okay.
Just wanted you to say
You
it.
just
You
wanted
just
me to say
wanted
the
it,
word.
Marcus to be the one to say sex slave unprompted.
Yeah. He's just bringing in all the terms.
Yes.
Yes, you could. Yeah, I mean, she could have. But he says he would have paid for, and she says she
He
would
would
have
have
done
paid
it for
more.
2.
This is the thing. The movie is about the fact that he is looking for a transactional relationship because he recognizes that every relationship he has is already that way.
It's only because his girlfriend didn't turn up in the first place.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like he's not chill to date. Like, and there's that great line of his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend being
I think
like,
girlfriend, yeah.
your secretary is one of my bridesmaids. And it's like, oh, that's good. That's a
Yeah.
good line. But like,
It's a great line.
the whole point is that when they're at the polo at the country club and she says, no wonder you sought me out. And it's because, like, everyone in his life is a smiley glad hand who has to pretend like they like him or they have a personal convivial relationship with him because he facilitates money. He's a lucrative friend to have. She, weirdly, is the most honest relationship he has because she's like, yeah, I take money and you have sex with me. Like, that's the deal.
Yeah.
And once we have that out, like, front and that's done, established, then we don't have to pretend anymore. And that's weirdly what makes them so charming. And so, like, the pop between the two of them, because weirdly the manacles of pretending have fallen away.
And
also,
they both lean into that. They both are like, let's just sort out the business and then we can relax.
But what does she say when he says, Vivian, I'd like to make a business proposal. I'd like to spend the week with you. She smiles. She cracks that face into the most glorious fucking like grin I've ever seen. And she goes, really? And it's like, yeah, she likes him. This works. This is a fantasy. It's a beautiful fairy tale. And the movie likes her. The movie does not judge her.
You don't know the movie. Don't pretend you know the movie.
I know this movie. We've hung out sometimes. It's been a little while. It kept talking about math all the time, so I had to drop it from my social circle. But
we know the movie likes her and her character because even stuck up Hector Elizondo from the hotel is like, hey, he's your uncle, and
that's
you don't
such
have
a great
any
moment.
more uncles once he leaves town, right? Great. And then by the end of the movie, he's like sorting her out. He's taking care of her. He's like, oh, actually, I think the driver knows where she lives, by the way, Richard Gere. So
he's taking care of her in that very scene. Like, the subversion of his character is you expect him to be like, madam, you are a sex worker. I'm calling the police. Yeah. And instead he's like, I don't want to see you again afterwards. Yeah. And she breaks down at not being able to get clothes. And he's like, I'm going to help you. And
kind of
they
expect
have that
him
really lovely friendship throughout the film after that.
You expect him to be Tim Curry in Home Alone 2. You know, that dickish concierge that's like playing mouse hunt with her through the building and stuff and trying to catch her out. Like,
and instead he's just like really chuffed by her.
I don't think anyone goes, I reckon he's going to be like Tim Curry.
In Home Alone 2?
Yes. I've done a lot of new things today, pal. I can keep going if you want.
No, please do. It's illuminating for sure.
Yes. Everyone who treats her badly, the movie hates. There is no one in this movie. I will give you the exception.
It doesn't hate Richard Gere.
I was about to say, I'll give you the exception that there are moments of Richard Gere's performance that I think the movie is intentionally being like, this guy's being a dick right now. I mean,
it excuses him too often. I don't like it.
I will agree with you. There's one line in this movie. There's a couple of things I don't like about this movie. There's one line of his I really hate. And it's when they're in bed together after he's made his apology because he's told Jason Alexander, Stucky, I think his name is, that she's a sex worker. Mm-hmm. And he's had to apologize. He's really hurt her. And he does come to her and say, I'm sorry. I know I did the wrong thing. I've demeaned you. And I think that's a powerful thing for him to do when, really, realistically, if he's just some corporate fuckhead who just wants to have a sex worker for the week, why would he care? But instead, he does feel that emotional conviction. But when they're lying in bed together and she explains how she got into this job, and he says, you could be so much more. And I'm like, fuck you, buddy. You're paying for her. So don't give me this you could be so much more shit. That line could be excised from the movie. Like that does not, because that's the movie going, isn't he sweet? He sees the potential in her. I'm like, no.
You're a rich, powerful, good-looking dude. You could have any woman for free. What are you doing, bro?
I don't appreciate that line. I think a lot of the rest of the time, like when he comes in the bathroom and she's hiding the dental floss and he assumes she has drugs, we go, yeah, fuck you, dude. Like for assuming that she was doing drugs in here. And he has that moment where he has to be like, you surprised me. I'm realizing I'm a narrow-minded fuck, right?
But no, that's a better line. Had they written that, I would have enjoyed it more. I reckon
I'm a narrow-minded fuck.
Just a little bit more accountability for being a piece of shit, I think would have alleviated the tension there.
We've spoken about this previously on other rom-coms, is that the protagonist, male, is always a pretty flawed human. And if you look at it outside in a reality circumstance of the actions they take and the things they do, it's horrendous stuff. They're insufferable. You can't believe they would do that. And why would the woman ever take them back?
Yeah. I would argue most genre films have a flawed male hero who, relative to the genre, we forgive them, or if we don't forgive them, we see the complexity in who they are.
But
in rom-coms, it's like maybe they're a little like insensitive, and in other movies, it's like they kill people, and we go like, but at heart, he's a good guy.
You've seen historically that I have a real issue with rom-coms in general, and especially ones from that 90s period, right?
You hate love, we know.
I do.
Women. Yeah.
I hate.
What'd you say?
How
I said and women.
I hate how
the
men in the 90s and in rom-coms in general are generally excused almost for that abhorrent behavior, like abhorrent,
Abhorrent.
whatever, abhorrent. Thank you.
Balmoral.
Balmoral. I just can't get behind it. I don't enjoy it. I just feel icky when I watch these rom-coms. There's very few that slip through the cracks, and I go, I'm super into this, and I love it. I want to feel about them the same way you do, Tom, about every movie.
Yeah, Tom's a romantic. Tom gets swept up in the.
He really does.
I 100% get swept up in this movie. And I have, by the way, I should mention, this is not like a classic. I've watched this since I was a kid. I watched this for the first time last year. Really liked it.
I think you called me straight afterwards.
I did, and I was like, Julia Roberts' performance in this is just like luminous. And then we were going to do this pod a while back.
That's why they cast her as Tinkerbell after in Hook.
Tinker Hell. Didn't you hear what the press said?
Okay,
no,
see,
the press called her that because apparently she was really difficult on the set.
Oh.
That's the weird thing about Julia Roberts at this time. Everyone became obsessed with her, and then 12 months later, everyone was like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like everyone was over Julia Roberts.
It's the Pedro Pascal thing that we have now.
I mean, Pedro Pascal. We'll get to it, but there's some stuff.
Will we?
When?
Yeah. Well, when we do a section of this, maybe we will. I think.
Go to the butler's pantry. And for those first-time listeners out there, the butler's pantry is where Tom gets to talk like a lot.
Finally,
so
thank
buckle
God.
up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Here's the song. Whoop. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that doo-up sound.
Whoop.
I mean, I guess the most interesting thing about this movie is definitely that it started out as something that maybe you would have liked more, Marcus. Like, it was written by a guy called J.F. Lawton, and it was him writing a film that he was like, I'm doing all these genre films I don't really feel excited about, and I'm trying to make something that feels a little more real. He was living in Hollywood at the time, or he was living near Beverly Hills. He got to know a lot of different sex workers, and he wrote this film called 3000, or this script called 3000.
Yep.
And it's a lot darker. Like, it's a movie that's got the seedy side of it. It's got a lot less. It sounds like he kind of wrote like Midnight Cowboy from a woman's perspective, and like ramped up to a 90s degree where it possibly could even be more intense than that.
Like, I think a version of J.F. Lawton's original script 3000 would be in the bathroom. She doesn't have dental floss. She has drugs, and they get into a fight.
And there is way more conflict.
They would have been like, Disney would have been like, let's change it. But that would be
Disney. This movie, this script was done with the Sundance Institute. I think some people bought it and they went out of business. And then Disney acquired it. And you can imagine him walking into the like, we love the script, kid. It's great. Obviously, we can't fucking do this. Like, we have to cut 90% of it. But like, we love
somehow,
the script.
can we get the log right in there? Can we get the log right?
And like,
it's a small world after all.
Just the idea that anyone involved saw this and was like, I'm thinking Disney, like a very weird call. But Gary Marshall did take a big crack at it. A lot of people did. And the ending was originally much darker. The ending was her and Viv, who's Laura San Giacomo as her not Viv. Viv is Julia Roberts. Kit is her roommate's name. Yep. It's them just getting on a bus to Disneyland, and just Viv looking distressed after she's had a fight with Richard Gere.
I read the original thing was he threw her out of the car.
He's throwing money at her, forcing her to get out of the limo because they have a fight, and he leaves her by the side of the road. And then she gets on a bus to Disneyland.
There is actually another ending as well. I think. No, I'm not trying to be funny here.
He falls off the fire escape.
No, I think she goes back to her apartment after getting the money, the 3,000, and kills herself. I think she commits suicide.
They had a lot of different the script kept getting fixed up, and like eventually they were like, how about a happy ending?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, I never thought of that.
Now, I think they'd also cast this or precast this in its original form. I think they had Pacino and Pfeiffer.
They did, which is weird because then he went on to Gracie and Frankie was the next movie. No, they'd already done Scarface in the 80s.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they ended up doing Gary Marshall's next film, which is Gracie and Frankie, and it's Michelle Pfeiffer and Al Pacino, a movie that -3 people have seen. Like, no one has seen that movie.
I've seen the show Grace and Frankie, but I don't
Sure.
didn't know
And I might even be getting the name wrong. Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it is Grace and Frankie.
Can we quickly just go back to J.F. Lawton? Like, he wrote this, obviously, and it changed a lot. But then, like, the rest of his career, very short, 14 credits to his name.
Yeah.
Under Siege with Seagal. Under Siege 2, Chain Reaction, and then like a couple of others.
He made a movie with Bill Maher in it, and I saw the cover of Bill. It's Pizza Man or something, and I was just, I felt fucking horrific having seen that. Like,
so wait, sorry, just outside of Pretty Woman, then what has he actually done?
Like
Nothing
No,
of
like name
great-
something.
Well, Under Siege, he wrote under, which is not
No,
nothing.
no. We're talking Steven Seagal. What has he actually done?
No, Marcus, you understand. Pretty Woman is the height, and then Under Siege is the strong number 2. That's his
Yeah,
career.
that's
He's
the
got
that's the second
14
follow-up album.
14
God.
credits. That's it.
Yeah,
Gosh,
Don't worry
where
about
is
it.
he now?
I
Yeah,
think he got
he's-
the 3,000 and he killed himself.
Oh Jesus!
Allegedly.
He talks-
I don't know.
He talks about how
Get the
which is
log
very
right.
interesting, given that
It's
a
on
lot
the
of
log right.
people who would have written this, and gone like, oh, they changed my script. It was this beautiful dark thing and whatever. He talks about it and he's like, no, fuck it. Like they wanted to make a Disney movie. They took my idea. Some of the story beats are in there. It's weird that he has sole writing credit because from his like the sounds of it, he's like, really, it's maybe like 25% of my movie up there, and the rest of it has been completely redone and you know zhuzhed up to be a lot more commercially appealing. But I mean, here's my thing. I think 9 times out of 10, that is a disaster. Or 9 times out of no matter what direction a studio takes it in.
Yeah.
I think this is a fucking great example of a studio being like, why don't we just try and make something like a little bit more light? Why don't we try and make something that has like the potential for a happy ending that can be earned? I know, Marcus, you probably feel like the happy ending, and Frank, you probably feel like the happy ending isn't earned. I think it's earned. I think it's a really beautiful thing. Gary Marshall
Oh, I
gave
thought you were
Julia
making
Roberts.
a massage joke. I was
Go
like,
on, explain. What do you mean?
like a happy ending. Like I don't feel like it's earned. Like it just, depends where you are. It just happens.
Anyone wants to jump on YouTube and see Frank's backlight? It's just this purple happy ending
A massage
looking.
parlor.
I'm actually starting a new career as a massage.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
Lord. Is it-
Anyway.
anyway.
I
What were you
think
saying?
I think the scene where Julia Roberts, which it was Gary Marshall's invention, the scene where she talks about like the fantasy she had as a young girl, I think is very touching. I think Julia Roberts sells that when it could be very cliched. I think a lot of things in this movie are very cliched, and they sell it because of the magnitude of the star power behind her, but also like there's an integrity to this movie. I really feel that, and I find that weirdly when it originally sounds like it was just like every page was him being like fucking living in LA sucks and you're gonna die, and someone took that and was like, what if it's just, I don't know, pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman, and it works. What a great song.
Is that your
Before
Roy
we,
Orbison impression?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was Ray.
Before we
Ray
exit the
Orbison.
pantry, Roy Orbison for you. I think it's funny to talk about obviously the continuity scene of like the croissant versus the pancake, all-time classic, where she's just,
Sure.
and it just changes immediately.
Just swapping food.
It's like it's such a sign.
She woofed it down in between. Like it cut to Richard Gere and she's like,
She's a street girl.
She hasn't
hungry.
eaten. She hasn't eaten for weeks. I think it's
Marcus is on sex slave, street girl, be hungry.
Sorry, I said street rat, didn't I? I definitely said street rat.
scoundrel.
Filthy
Take
street
that,
rat.
just a little snack, guys. Thanks.
Sorry, the vibrato was great.
One scene we haven't talked about.
Hold
Frank,
on,
if
I was going to say.
Oh, finish your
Has
point.
something to
I was going to
say.
say, let me finish my point, is that this movie is a time capsule of like, back in the day, people didn't have to worry so much about all this like finicky BS. Like that would be fixed in post, or that just wouldn't be allowed. But it's just nice to see. I don't know, it adds to the charm for me. This little
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small gripe to have if you're really going to pick a film apart because of a swap of, or continuity or whatever. Like,
Yeah, they filmed it on 6 days, like.
But then again, if
break.
the film is really that poor, where all you're watching is continuity and you're picking up on everything, I mean, that
Or
it
the
says
maths.
all the maths.
But
all
also,
the
she
maths.
sings the same verse of "Kiss" by Prince twice. It's like,
Yeah, I thought that had
that's
run
not how
the
the
wrong
song
way.
goes, guys.
She just restarted it. She likes that verse. That's
She
fine.
rewound her cassette tape.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Just what I'm saying.
And she was a little flat, wouldn't you say, Frank?
Honestly, it's embarrassing for her.
It's a little flat.
Because Richard
That's the
Gere's like
only. Otherwise, the tone is great. Like she's really got great
Yeah.
projection.
Great Corey with the bubbles, though. Great Corey.
I love that scene is because I watched American Psycho a million times, and watching Pretty Woman last year, I was like, oh, this is what American Psycho's like literally when he has one of the sex workers over to his house and he's got her in the bath and he's playing with her, I'm like, oh, he thinks he's Richard Gere. Like I never got that's what that movie's doing.
I never
It's
got
kind
that until
I
now.
never got that
kinda-
until
it's
just
kind of
now.
amazing.
You've just
Yeah.
blown my mind entirely.
One scene we haven't talked about really is the
I'm not being
the very,
facetious.
the
No,
very
it's wild.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
the very famous scene where she walks into the shop and gets denied service, which we haven't talked about.
What happens?
She walks into buy a dress and
Yeah, she walks
buy
in
clothing and they say,
and these women,
it's very expensive.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything here.
these women who are not nearly
Must have missed it.
as
Must have
attractive
missed
as they think they are. I mean, she is
Here's the
stunning
thing,
when she walks
Julia
in.
Roberts doesn't
And this
look
movie's
like,
called Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Where's
doesn't-
the Pretty Woman?
she doesn't look like a street rat. This is the thing.
No,
she
she's
doesn't
too
look
pretty.
like a scoundrel.
She's too
We
too
started so well. Now
No,
we're
she's
just-
too pretty.
we're
I'm just
like
saying,
street
these
rat.
women
Well, if we're
refuse
referring-
to serve her.
Welcome to
and she is-
Hollywood. It's
she-
a dream. It's a fantasy. Sorry, go on.
Hold
go
on, hold on.
No, it
But
doesn't
like, if
matter.
she's
Doesn't matter.
Aladdin and he's Princess Jasmine, like Aladdin's beautiful
Good.
too.
Checks out so far.
Yeah.
Jason Alexander's
I'm
the
with
genie.
you.
Go
Yeah.
on, go
I don't
on.
know.
Tom's a
If-
dick. I'm with you, Frank. Keep
if
going.
Julia
Hector
Roberts-
Elizondo's the flying carpet. Go on, go on.
Correct. Very funny, agile. It's just that's the gripe for me. It's like she doesn't look like a hua, Tony. She looks lovely, and she walks into your store and she's like, "I got money." Like, who in their right mind? Anyway, they're not going to
Just
kick
make
her
her
out.
just that little bit scrappier at the start of the film. Just really
give her a
like dust her up a
cigarette.
bit. I don't. She doesn't have to have herpes or anything. I'm just saying, like, just.
I hope
like-
she doesn't.
I'm just saying, like, she does. She looks far too well put together and far too
Yes.
clean,
Yes.
and she does. I would never believe walking past her on the street that she was a sex worker or was a
Yeah.
hooker.
They should have kept the original script. This is just
Yeah,
too clean.
just
and
kill everyone.
boring.
Yeah.
I
This is-
think
this is
you
cheap.
guys are kind of weirdly demonstrating the limited view that the people in this movie have of sex workers. They think of them as dirty
Yeah, right.
streetwalkers who couldn't possibly have any sort of like agency or integrity or
Not when they're
or
going from
value.
paycheck to paycheck and they're struggling to make ends
no,
meet.
when they-
No.
But you kind of like the whole thing is Julia Roberts is a shock to everyone in this. They're like, this girl's really got something for a hua. She's really like quite an interesting lady. And it's like, yeah, that's the movie. The movie is presenting that idea of maybe we have a judgmental attitude towards these people and we need to reconsider it.
Can we
Yeah.
please take note that I'm the only one that hasn't said that word yet? So you two.
Who
Marcus,
are on
you
display.
have sprinted past whore like ages ago.
yeah, who is definitely worse? I'm just quoting The Sopranos. Great show.
Before we jump into a new segment that we're going to try and do for the first time ever, I do love the biggest fuck you of all time though, where she does go back to said store and
Yes.
was like, "You could have had this, but you couldn't." So la la la.
Do you work on commission?
Yeah, yeah.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big, huge. Just
Great.
classic.
It's a good delivery too.
It's an amazing moment.
Okay.
It's just
it's really great that we got that line out. I hope if you haven't seen the film,
that's how it goes.
that's what
We've heard it
happens.
twice now.
Really
Exactly
iconic.
how it
If you
sounds.
haven't seen the film, let me tell you, big mistake. Big.
Do we
Huge.
do a new segment?
Yeah, let's do a new segment. I've got a song
yeah.
right here.
Oh, you got a song? Play it.
Okay. Do you want us to sing along? Like just kind of pick up the vibe?
Yeah, just give it a
It's
go.
a new song, Tom. We don't know what the song is.
That's it. So we'll try and like, in real time.
Recast, looking for a recast.
Recast.
I hate it
Didn't
when
work.
you
Is
do
it
that.
because,
Who's in
is it
that
because
role
Tom,
now?
I hate it when you
It's
do
a
it.
new person.
Stop it.
Tom
stop it,
talked
stop it.
over the top of it, didn't he?
Yes, every time.
100%.
Oh, sorry, I'll stop.
No, it's done now. So we're playing recast.
Yeah, I think we should play it. I would
Okay,
love-
so recast. I thought this would be a nice little segment because and I'll preface it quickly by saying the rules. The rules are
there are no rules.
there are no rules. More like guidelines. They
Best don't believe it in ghost stories.
if you have to recast this film, we're talking the top 3 protagonists, or sorry, leads in this film, should I say? So in this instance, you would look at Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, and Jason Alexander, for argument's sake, unless you've got a better idea for the third.
well, if inspiration strikes.
Yeah,
I
sure.
suppose you could go to Lisa San Giacomo instead if you wanted to.
I mean, Hector Elizondo you could recast.
You
Yeah,
could,
it
but
would
why
usually
would
be
you?
your
No, but
two
like-
protagonists and your antagonist. Usually, is kind of what I'm aiming at.
Okay.
I've
I've got one, but I'll
if
let
they
you.
can be alive or dead, it can be anyone you want, but
they'll be
gun to head,
better
you
actors
have
if
to
they're
replace
alive.
them. It would be
Right.
better if they're still alive.
And so to be clear, like it can be someone who right now is 20, but you're like, yeah, even though obviously they couldn't have played Julia Roberts' role.
That's
now
right.
they could.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
You can bend the rules to be like, I think
Frank-
young Tom Hanks would work well in this, or
Like,
you know.
why is this
Frank,
so...
if you don't think we need clarification on rules on
No,
this pod,
we have to.
We
have
are
to.
sorely mistaken.
I've done the
Anyway,
math,
let's
but I
move
don't
on,
think-
let's move
I
on.
don't
Who wants
think
to
we
go
can
first?
afford- I want to go first, but mine's
You
not
go
for a
first.
top 3. Mine's for Hector Elizondo, and it's Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
I think that's great casting.
That's a really good call.
Like it's almost too easy.
I was going to pick him for Julia Roberts' part, but I think you're right. He probably would do a better job of
Yes.
Barney. Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Emily Blunt for Julia Roberts, although less so
Interesting.
now.
Interesting. See, I was going to pick her for Jason Alexander's part, but you've taken all mine and you're putting them in different
You
places.
doing the same joke again? That's good. That's really good. Twice in a
Wait
row.
for the rule of threes.
Well, for Jason
what about-
Alexander.
Oh,
I'd
what have you
go-
got for Jason Alexander?
What about a Richard Gere?
Well, hold on. Jason Alexander, Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Not
wow.
sleazy
That's
enough?
upsettingly good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
think
thought
that
I was going to
works.
get him for Jason Alexander's role, but oh wait,
He can be gross.
Why-
Hey?
I just had a
There's your
thought.
stupid
Why not
joke.
just get Danny DeVito, but present day Danny DeVito? It's
just
Jason
the cast.
Alexander's role.
That's very funny.
Anyone
Tom's
else?
taking this
Anyone
very
else?
seriously. I love this. Sorry, who did you say for your Richard Gere character? Anyone?
I didn't. I don't.
Oh
have
no,
one.
that's all right. Okay, no good. Tom, do you want to go?
Sure. I think Robert Redford would probably have done well, but he's a little too kind. Like
Okay.
there needs to be something more
for Julia
withholding.
Roberts' character.
Yes, absolutely for Julia Roberts' character. Thank you,
Sure.
Frank. Whereas I also thought maybe Robert Forster, from like I watched Jackie Brown again the other day, and I thought he as well, but they've both got kind of a kindness that I think Richard Gere's a little edgier, which is nice. I have to admit, I did like some reading about this movie a little while ago earlier today, but I had thought about this beforehand, and I truly had thought, well, I guess Michelle Pfeiffer, if you're going like an 80s, 90s
Yeah.
person, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
shocked to find, well, it was going to be her originally.
Makes sense.
Today, I would say maybe it's something Iowa Debris could do. Like, I think she'd be really fun in this role.
Disagree.
You don't think so?
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
And I'm not going to explain anything more.
No, it's okay.
just disagree.
First person of color that comes up, Frank's just like, no, I don't think they have any business in this.
Yeah,
That's
you know
fair.
what? Yeah,
Nice.
thanks for that.
And Jason Alexander, I don't know, like fucking the boil on my ass. I don't care. Like, what an awful. He's just so terrible and upsetting. He's meant to be. He does a good job of it, but Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
mine.
Marcus, you're up.
Well, going on who I think has really great chemistry with Julia Roberts, for example, is I think George Clooney would have been a good one for this.
When do they have great chemistry? In the retreat, in that movie they did with their kids? No.
Return
Oceans.
to Ticket to Paradise.
Ticket to
Oceans?
Paradise.
No, yeah, I think maybe we're thinking of the Oceans movies, possibly.
Oceans.
I don't know
Oh,
if you heard
okay.
Oceans 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a prequel to Oceans 8.
I think George has that that good balance between the two as well. I think he can still have that charming sort of narcissistic side to him where he's not being that much of a dick. And I think that he just shows better levels than Richard Gere does.
He's a better actor. He's
a better actor.
He's definitely got better range.
Yeah.
I see it as like, yes, if you want to put her on screen with someone that it's like they're going to work together, if Clooney works 100%.
If I was to replace a Julia Roberts who was sensational, I'd say like a Sandra Bullock.
Sure.
I think she demonstrates similarities in Miss Congeniality in terms of having that sort of like just being a little bit streetwise, a bit smart, a bit like, as your father, and then
a movie that owes a lot to Pretty Woman, as a lot of those
I
films
agree.
do,
I agree.
like subsequently as Princess Diaries, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes,
nowadays you could probably even pair up like a Jessica Chastain with Oscar Isaac for a film like this, and I would be into it. I think.
Yeah. Actually, I like that.
Oscar
I
Isaac's a
love
good shout.
Chastain.
Well, that's why I brought him up earlier. Pedro Pascal, even though I've seen The Materialists, which I essentially think is someone trying to kind of like it's a completely different plot, but it's dealing with the idea of like commerce, capitalism, and love at the same time as Pretty Woman is. I think The Materialists is quite a bad movie.
Isn't it? It's broke boy propaganda. That's what everyone's saying.
It's like Celeste Song is getting quite upset at people for being like, not you telling Dakota that she should go for the broke boy instead of the rich boy. And she's like, this is the problem with our culture, that we value money more than we value sentiment. And it's like, I think that's true, but I think, I think make a better movie about it and people won't maybe get so critical. Like, but Pedro Pascal's in that playing a very Richard Gere role, and it's boring. It's so fucking boring. So I'd want to see Pedro be more adventurous. Come back, Pedro. Do something fun, please. Anyway, sorry.
And if
Those are
it's Jason
fantastic
Alexander, I'd think something like a Will Arnett, for example, would be
awesome.
That's cool.
Love
That's
it.
great. Is it too late to throw Kyle Mooney in just somewhere? Because I think it would always. For any role.
Yeah.
Who
There would be a lot of interesting choices for that role. I think you could take it in any direction, really. And
you could recast it with, Seth Meyers as Richard Gere, Kristen Wiig,
Larry David.
Yeah.
Like, that would just be so funny how angry he would get.
So you're making it a drama now. All right, let's quickly move on to MVP.
Can I say
MVP.
very quickly before we do, one of my big issues with the movie is I think you can cut that scene out of it. I do not see any reason why we need the scene. Jason Alexander's character has made his point in the movie. Like, we know that he disrespects Viv and that he thinks of money as the highest purpose anyone can want to aspire to.
Yeah.
And that, as in contrast to Richard Gere, he's the nasty corporate guy. When he comes to the apartment and tries to rape her and Richard Gere, pulls him off and throws him out, I'm like, get rid of those 3 minutes. The movie loses nothing. It does not need that.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they kept it in would have been like, well, we need Richard Gere to step up, right?
Yes,
that's what you need. But you could.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think it's enough to redeem him in this, but sure.
One of my favorite things about the movie is that when he decides not to break down the old guy's company, which, by the way, we've spoken so little about the corporate stuff, which I love because the movie doesn't give a fuck. The movie just goes, yeah, whatever, yada, yada. Like, this is not the important stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And when he decides not to do it, there is no scene or line, as there would be in another movie, where he goes, I just met a pretty special young lady and
I choose love.
Truly, all the guys like, has this got something to do with that young lady I met the other night? Like, just some really corny line.
Waste of fucking time. I feel for those guys.
The old man should be like, I'm getting old and I think love is more important than money. And
I once met a pretty woman.
I saw one once at the street fair.
But yeah, I love the movie doesn't do that. It just has him make that decision. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Not
all right, MVP,
That's not bad.
please.
MVP. Okay.
There's someone in this movie called Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
You guys might have heard of her. She's fucking incredible.
There's no one else. It's Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it's Julia Roberts. What an incredible performance.
Let me go left of center because I think Julia Roberts is a good, obviously the easiest pick. I'm going to say Hector Elizondo.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I really wanted you to say Jason Alexander after all.
Someone's going to play the bad guy.
I think he does the job. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he does.
It's
just gross.
Marcus condones all of his actions.
No. Not what I said.
I don't think there's
clip
anything wrong with what he does.
As long as he doesn't say hua, then we're fine.
I would never say the word hua in my life.
Is this one of his first film roles?
Jason?
I don't know. I'm not really that familiar. I mean,
he was in Batman Returns, right?
Should we look it up?
As Catwoman. He's in Space Jam, but that's later, right? Isn't that like 99 maybe?
That's not him.
Is Jason? Oh no, you're right.
You're thinking of what's his name
it's
from
mate. It's
from
Jurassic
who's
Park.
also
from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
The guy from Jurassic Park.
They are. To be fair, they are very
Wayne
similar.
Knight. I'm thinking of.
I thought you were thinking of Bill Murray's character for a second. I was like, first of all, what?
Well, it looks like he's in many movies from the looks of his IMDb.
Yeah, great. But what's his first one?
Let's find out.
I don't know. Let's waste more time.
What do you think, listener?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So is anyone
heaps.
throwing in the power? Did anyone make a good argument? Up or down? Sideways? Twisted around? Any score slips?
Yeah, I'm throwing it in.
Oh yes. Wait, which direction? Wait. What was your original score?
5.5. I said it an hour ago.
Real on the fence. No, I don't listen.
I was completely on the fence.
Usually I yada yada when you start talking.
I know you do. Thanks, pal.
I don't think you're persuading him today, Mark.
Sorry.
You've given up on this.
Even if it was about to come down, you just fucking berated me.
Fuck you.
Yeah. It's a like now for sure, but
that's disappointing.
I just don't like the ending, but the charm of the 2/3 of it is worthwhile. So 6.5.
Beautiful.
I just hate the ending. The ending is so cheesy shit.
I think the ending is cheesy. I think,
what's your dream? And it's like, don't pan to that guy.
The ending with her is she saves him right back, which is a great line.
Worst line of the movie.
You are so wrong.
What does he do?
It's all right. I won.
Frank, that sounds like a 4.5.
This is the contradiction. It's like why it's so close. It's like some of the lines are so good. I would have done it for 4. I would have done it for 2.
It's a
Awesome.
big. You've jumped up a full point though.
Yeah, 1 point. What big whoop. All right.
Good movie.
Want to fight about it?
9.4.
You want to fight about it?
Really into it. Marcus, you still on your 3.3?
Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
not budging.
Okay, so that was
not at
Pretty
all.
Woman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was
It's good to be back. I'll say it's good to be back. Should we mention the
Pretty
hiatus?
average, right?
I prefer the black dress earlier on than the red dress. I think the black dress in the piano lounge, so good. She's a pretty woman.
Thanks for listening to Throw on the Power. My name is Frank,
My name is Marcus.
My name's Tom.
and that was Pretty Woman. Give us a DM on Instagram, Throw on the Power, or throwonthepower@gmail.com, or like our podcast. Give it a 5-star review. Anything, pals?
Please.
Does
Please
DM
like
stand
it.
for do message?
Please do message.